Hello, and welcome to the Object First live stream here at VeeamON 2025. This is day one. The keynote is just finishing up, and we are down here in the expo hall getting ready for a ton of excitement to just come through here. If you're here at the conference, come on down to P4 and join us. But before we do that, before things open up, we'd like to take you behind the scenes and let you in on a couple of amazing announcements. I'm here with our CEO, David Bennett. David, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Sterling. It's great to be here again.
It is absolutely exciting to be here. You know, VeeamON every year brings all of the technology vendors together to discuss what's going on in the Veeam ecosystem, understand what our partners and customers are talking about, and for some companies to make some pretty big announcements as well. What's new for Object First?
Well, I'm glad you asked that because yet again, we're here to announce some really great news about a consumption model, a new way to consume Object First, which I think is not only revolutionary for us, it's revolutionary for the industry.
I absolutely agree. I was waiting for this to come out. I've been so excited trying to keep my mouth shut. So if I'm counting correctly, that is two very large rollouts within the past month.
Within a couple of weeks.
Just within a couple of weeks. It's been awesome to see it all come together. But about the consumption model, what about this model is a milestone for Object First? Why is this so important?
This is so important because if you think about on-prem storage, people always procure things for a large capacity. They're always guessing what they want in the future. This is different from people hearing about like subscriptions, things like that. This is actually pay for what you consume. It's a whole new way of being able to get access to the Object First technology and only pay for what you actually use. And to take a message out from Nan's message, it's all about no fluff.
Yeah.
Pay for exactly what you use, which is a first in the industry.
I absolutely love that. Now, Object First and Ootbi already provided immutability right out of the box. What challenge does this piece, the consumption piece, solve for customers?
I mean, when anyone looks at a piece of technology and a new technology, they always say, wow, this is awesome. Whatever happens, you always go to that CFO and say, do I have the budget to go and pay for this? And how many of us, whether you're an end user or if you're a channel partner, have said, I really want to go and do this, but my budget is not there. Or I don't have budget till next year. This model allows you to pay for what you consume. And who doesn't have $500 a month to keep their business running with immutable storage? And that's where our subscription starts at as well.
That really removes the barrier that was there for some of those customers to be able to adopt this right away.
Absolutely. It really is that model to say, how do I get access to immutable on-prem storage without the worry of what is my budget? What is my budget going to have to be in next year or the year after or the year after that? Let me only pay for what I need. And by the way, I can do it now easily without signing a multi-year contract because it's a one-year contract.
Absolutely. And very low risk, right, for the customer to adopt this technology.
It's very low risk. It gives them fast access to our technology without having to deal with budgetary cycles, or in a CapEx environment, how many companies use up credit facilities to pay for CapExes that they should be using those credit facilities to make their business better.
That makes a lot of sense. Now, anybody that's listened to you before always hears how you talk about security and simplicity are key pieces of Object First and what we do here at Object First. How does the consumption model also flow into that mantra?
Well, we took that mantra and dropped it into the consumption model because I think we've all been in those environments where you sign up for a subscription and you need to be a rocket scientist to work out how much do you pay for your bill. We took the model and said, we're going to make it really, really easy. Pay for what you use. And by the way, if you use over more than your minimum commit, you actually pay less.
That's awesome. So they have choices of where they can be and just pay for what they use.
Yeah, you can understand, I need this. This is what my bill is going to be. No hidden costs, no nothing. That's exactly what it is.
That is amazing. And you heard it directly from our CEO, David Bennett. What do you think? Without any further ado, want to play them a little bit of the reel that will tell them a little bit more detail about it?
Let's play the video and let's hear a bit more.
That sounds good. All right, we're back. That was awesome. I'm actually really excited. And now I'm here with our VP of Sales, Harry Carlin. Harry, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing great, Sterling. How are
All right.
you?
Are you kidding me? I'm super excited. We're here at VeeamON 2025. The excitement's about to start, and we just made our big announcement. So I have to ask you, what are you hearing from the field? How's it been so far?
Sterling, the reception is fantastic. Over the last 2 years, the most consistent feedback that I've heard from customers and partners alike is, when are you going to have a bigger box? When are you going to have a smaller box? When are you going to launch some sort of consumption model? You asked, we delivered, we've got it all, and they're thrilled. In fact, we even have a customer before our official launch.
Wait, what?
Yep.
Before the official launch?
Yep.
That's how excited
some
they
of our
were.
early previews to the service provider community, and we've got our first customer already.
You know what? Speaking of this is actually a perfect dovetail on what I wanted to know next. I mean, we understand a little bit from David what was in it for the customers, what they're getting out of it, the lower barrier, low risk. What about the partners? What's in it for them?
Sure, absolutely. Well, look, first and foremost, the benefits of our partner program all apply to the consumption model, right? The great margins, the great incentives, the great rewards, all of that still exists, right? Really what it does is it removes various barriers to sale to help align customers' purchases along with the ways that they'd like to purchase. This can help speed up the sales cycle and ultimately make it easier for their customers to consume.
That's actually pretty awesome. So are you telling me that partners can go about this the exact same way they did before, with the same margins, same things, and the same sales motion that they did before, but with the lower barrier for them to get in?
Absolutely. And for our service provider community, this enables a lot of various MSPs and Veeam Cloud service providers to actually host their own Veeam backup data with their own cloud created by Ootbi without having a significant CapEx expenditure up front.
That's a serious key point here, because it really provides them a little bit more flexibility in how they want to grow their business, doesn't it?
Absolutely. They get to scale as their business scales.
That's pretty awesome. Now, obviously, Object First and Object First Ootbi is the best storage for Veeam. So how does this meld and mix into how Veeam likes to do business with their customers? How can this help them?
Absolutely. Well, at this point, customers are used to purchasing Veeam on a subscription basis. Their Veeam Universal License are purchased on an annualized subscription basis. And so this allows them to have the storage necessary for Veeam purchased and procured with a similar fashion, creating predictability and making, again, easier, removing various barriers to be able to store their Veeam data.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. And it makes a lot more sense as to why it's just a great dovetail into the Veeam community, as well as our partner community as well.
Yeah, I mean, many Veeam users also start perhaps with like a portion of their environment, and then ultimately it scales and grows over time. This allows that storage to scale and grow over time at the same time as their Veeam footprint increases. So they're still getting the same simple, secure, powerful user experience, the same storage, just another way that they can consume it based on how they like to do business.
And low risk, right?
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Harry, I got to tell you, man, every time I'm around you, I always get all excited. Your energy is palpable. Everybody always says it around here. We are just beginning this whole VeeamON 2025. What are you looking forward to the most here?
There's a lot of things I'm excited about. I mean, the energy here is fantastic. And look, nothing gets me more excited than talking about Object First.
Hey,
this is the absolute greatest product to sell because it's tremendous. It does what it's supposed to do. What I'm most excited about, hands down, the session that I'm leading tomorrow with James Moots, Director of Pre-Sales at Veeam, as well as one of our customers, where we're going to be walking through a real-world ransomware scenario and how this customer actually recovered without paying a ransom, all because of the immutable on-prem storage, courtesy of Object First.
Wow.
It's not a session you're going to want to miss.
That is definitely one to be at. And what a great example of how we are helping and providing the best security to everyone who needs it.
Yeah, look, ransomware is no joke. I mean, I have a few customers here, and understanding, some of the things that they've had to go through. Oftentimes you hear ransomware statistics and you hear the various industry stats. It really kind of dehumanizes from the experience in itself. And when you talk to these end users on the front lines and when they face an incident, I mean, it is an ordeal is not a way to describe it. I mean, these are such all-consuming endeavors that are really taxing on any individual. And so, as you humanize it and hear the actual experience and then understand and know that we can actually be part of helping them in that process, it's a very good feeling.
Absolutely. It's certainly one of the things that drives me. And if you all are here, please make sure you stop by the P4 booth. Come chat with us here in the expo hall, and we will also be around everywhere else. If you're watching virtually, as we begin to the excitement here, if you're watching virtually, make sure you look into the details of our YouTube to gain all the great information you need for consumption. Thank you for joining us today, and we can't wait to see you soon.